it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is to discuss the malevolence of a psychopath. I think that's a great viewer question, and I think the realization of the seriousness will help you to identify how to go no contact and really help you to feel better and good about protecting yourself. And I believe that this person is relating to a female. So we're going to zoom in and focus in on that here today. But before we get started, I want to give a super huge shout out to those of you who have recently supported and donated to the channel. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to create this community, this forum, in this context, and to be a resource of tools and knowledge and support. It goes beyond the shadow of a doubt that this is a necessity, and it is only my desire to help empower you. So thank you so much, and absolutely positively, if there are others of you out there who this has been a positive impact or a positive influence, and you want to support the channel, we would love to hear from you as well. Please feel free to donate at the PayPal Donate Now button here at the Peace and Harmony channel to support the channel and keep the channel alive. Your support and encouragement does help me to keep inspired, and it helps me to share and assist you in your experience. So thank you so much. So the malevolence, how to handle the malevolence of the psychopath. It helps to understand what malevolence mean. Mal from the Latin bad, and then volente from the Latin, which means to wish. To wish bad, ill will, spite. Okay, this is a horrible, horrible situation. It is the opposite of benevolence, which is kindness and generosity. And so wishing is part of the concept of that it's generating from this source. So malevolent, to have spite, which also means to have kind of like a hatred, a hostility, and anger. That is malevolent. So it's a very specific energetic state which really you don't want to engage with. Despite this person might be really attractive, they might be very powerful or significant. You know, once you're around someone who has a lot of spite, anger, hostility, and they just sort of have a wishing of malevolence onto others, you know, why is this? And then why have you found yourself a target? Realize that these people are aware, people who are psychopathic, particularly in the female. So you've got sort of their physiology, their entry point into the role of being the softer, the nurturer, the caring, the life giver. So there's all this that's like caught up in the female persona. So a lot of people, I mean, you know, can perhaps the weaker sex, you've got all these different paradigms that will equate to a woman. You know, you've got to go easy. She's a woman. Put them, you know, woman first. Put them first. You know, always love your mother. I mean, there's all these tenets, you know, even in religion that, you know, are just surrounding this topic, especially when it comes from a female. So letting them off the hook, being easy with them. You know, I'm not here to get into a big debate on that, but how do you deal with the malevolence when someone is not wishing you well? Realize then that this is going to be toxic. It's going to become toxic very quickly, and you can trace it back to that element. And to call them out and identify it, the earlier you can identify this, the better. And to identify that this is not a person that you want to surround yourself or really put a lot of your time into, a lot of your thought into, a lot of your sight into, hearing. You gotta get it out of your system that you need to disengage. And this might be the first person that you've had to disengage from. Disengage meaning getting away, pedal to the metal, not looking back, not doubting yourself. Thank goodness you got out alive. Thank goodness you got out with your wits. Thank goodness that you got out with, your 10 toes and your 10 fingers. Even if you're missing those, you've still got your focus. You still can focus on the fact that you still exist and you have the right, if not more right, to go and seek life, relationships, companionships, solace, serenity, peace of mind. And a viewer made a great comment, and that is that the gaslight is no longer on in my home. I think that's a great way to deal with the malevolence of a psychopath, because they will gaslight, deceive, put on a facade, do triangulation, which means try to pit competition of you against another, or competition of you against society, you against your school, you against this family, you against this job, you against this, industry. They'll try to get you where you live. That's just unfortunately what an intra-species predator does. It gives them a sense of accomplishment, reward, authority, power, all those things. Don't be impressed. I am not impressed. The gaslight is no longer on in my home. Lies are no longer welcome. Begin to have those statements for yourself. There ain't no gaslight hookup here. There ain't no lie receptacle here. There ain't no facade welcome here. Just period, end of story. Begin to call it for what it is. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel like the bad guy. Don't feel like the bad girl. And the other concept is that it's so confusing because oftentimes you will know best. You will know what's up. You will know what you have experienced, lived through, seen with your own eyes. In fact, oftentimes the psychopath will expose themselves in very quick ways while they know that you're looking. In other words, touch somebody inappropriately to see if you're going to do anything in a public situation. So you've got these sort of tests where they're, if you have not gone no contact, these people who are malevolent, they will try to get you, and this is very insidious and very, very disturbing, when they will try to do something that is to provoke you, to get you to lose it in the most uncomfortable, unprofessional, or social places. So you might be at a gathering and everybody else is doing this, and then they see that you're kind of, you're not buying it, and that you're sort of, and then they'll go and they'll do something. They'll touch somebody inappropriately. They will do something inappropriate. They will, in other words, they'll be cheating, lying, gaslighting just right there. And you can see it now that you've been through some of this work, and you can see it for what it is, and that you're still around them for whatever reason, and you just feel like you've had it, and then you want to call them out. You want to take them to task. You want to expose them right then and there. See, the psychopath is that malevolent that they will know that they can get you to lose it, to lose face, lose your dignity, ruin your reputation by doing this in the middle of a meeting, at a restaurant, at a family situation, and get you to come unhinged. So when they're doing this, even though someone else is being another part of a target, and you're trying to save them and rescue them, realize that the number one person you have to connect with in that situation, in the midst of the malevolence, is you. The only one you need to connect with and reconnect with and really embrace in that situation is you. Number one, begin to own what you know, own what you see, own what you've heard, own it. And then follow through. If you really want to take it up with that person at a later date when you're out of the situation, then have the conversation. Accept yourself. Don't take the bait. Don't take, they are that malevolent that that's one of their ways, is the triangulation, and then to get you to, in a passive aggressive way, get you to be reactive, and then they're going for, your ruin. You're losing face, you're losing dignity, you're losing composure, leaving the family, leaving the job, not having anything. Begin to take a real good look at this person, what they're doing, begin to own it, and protect yourself. I am not a victim. I am no longer falling for it. No gaslight hookup is on here. No lie receptacle here. No facade changing room here. And it's very important to have this cause. Lies don't live here. Facades don't live here. The heart lives here. The truth lives here. Freedom and liberation lives here. My connection to the divine lives here. And that is all that matters. So in the quiet of your heart, begin to really develop your thought process. Begin to have, when instead of reacting, begin to still the mind, still your eyes, still your lips, and begin to have internal dialogue. And I am protecting myself here. I am protected. I am 100% protected here. Even though they're going for that sort of exposure where they know that you're looking, they know that you're going to be upset, but you're not going to react anyway. For you to resolve your own heart, perhaps you're concerned or worried that this other person or other group or other department is being targeted. Well, don't intervene, right there in the middle. If you feel it in your best interest or that person's best interest to bring it up, and just say, hey, I wanted to check it out with you. Did this person do this to you? Did this person, I just want to check in. I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything, because I know you're a big person, you can handle it, and then, yeah, they did, I didn't want to say anything. Well, then, then you have the conversation, but you need to have permission to have that discussion. But don't lose your cool, don't buy the bait in the malevolence of a psychopath, because that's what they're counting on. They know that they've got everybody else brainwashed and gaslighted. It doesn't mean you have to follow suit. It doesn't mean you have to be like everybody else. In fact, the beautiful thing is you can be yourself. You can be independent. You can be original. You can be unique. You can be yourself. You can be authentic. You can be happy. You can be relieved of the responsibility of having to deal with this person. Don't make it your responsibility to protect everybody, the department, the world, the company, the community. Begin to, even though it feels so unfair, so unjust, realize that you're going to have to give this to divine order to make amends and karma with this person. Let it go to the great creator. They can handle it. Okay, they see what is going on. Period. End of story. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of viewers get caught up and they want to bring this person to trial. I know we've got a lot of viewers who are in, court battles with these people, or they want to bring them in front of committees and professional, situations, and they want this person, dealt with, and, etc. What is important for you? Like, look at really the world is with you, okay? You are the world in this situation. You are what is worth protecting. You are worth preserving. Your happiness and your serenity and your peace is what it's all about. There's nothing more important than that, because then you'll really begin to see very, very clearly, especially with time. You'll really begin to see clearly. And another viewer, said, it takes so long. It takes so much time. Well, all you have is time. So either you can spend your time trying to right this person, or you can get away and protect and right yourself and correct what's within yourself, and then move on. Let them go. Stop looking at that cause of trying to bring justice to that person. So, to a certain degree, do you see what I'm saying? So you have to make your own judgment call, but I think the burden will become a lot lighter when you give responsibility and accountability to yourself, and stop feeling like you have to convince a whole bunch of other people of this person and what they've done, etc. Begin to be your own best role model and look to other true role models who have been able to get away as well. And, just don't engage, don't absorb, and begin to look at the damage and effect, and begin to not own the damage, because that, to the degree, is how that person is still winning. You can let it go, and then the quality of your life becomes so much better that you begin then to make rapid healing, rapid recovery. You're free to make choices. You're free to go places. You're free to smile. You're free to engage. You're free to feel safe and protected. You're free to move on and grow even more quickly. There's then going to be a place where then your growth will accelerate. You are going to get there. You can do this. Don't fall for the malevolence of the psychopath. You can do this. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Keep your head up, accept yourself, and to heck with that psychopath.